green or leaf manuring. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define green manuring, describe the history of green manuring, and explain the types of green manuring. Every one of us may probably remember the incident that happened on 26th of December 2004. Yes, it was the unexpected tsunami that had shaken the world with aggressive waves, hitting the belongings of several villages, towns, and cities along the coastal regions. This natural disaster not only engulfed millions of human lives but also affected the surrounding agricultural lands. Yes, the seawater that spread over the agricultural lands added more salinity to the soil. As a result, the land had turned to be unfit for cultivation, and even if cultivated, it failed to generate the usual yield. Despite the farmers' attempts to resolve the problem, such as ploughing the land several times and adding manure, fertilizer, and other chemical substances, the condition of the soil remained the same. At last, one of the farmers decided to try a method that his ancestors followed. He collected enough tamarind leaves and spread them on his plot. Surprisingly, he witnessed positive results. The soil retrieved to normal condition within a few weeks. You seem to be wondering how this could be possible. Here is the answer. The farmer has tried one of the effective techniques known as the green leaf manuring to overcome this problem. In his case, tamarind leaves acted as a salinity reclamation agent. Do you know, green manuring is beneficial to farmers in several ways, and in this lesson, we shall discuss green manuring and its types in detail. Green manuring. It is defined as the practice of ploughing or turning into the soil the undecomposed green plant tissues to improve the physical structure and fertility of soil. As the name implies, green leaves or plants act as the chief ingredient to alter the soil composition. The key function of such green manure crops is to increase the organic matter of a soil. Due to the addition of green manure, the nitrogen supplied to the soil increases, thereby enabling the availability of certain other nutrients. As a result, the productivity level of the soil increases greatly. History of green manuring. Green manuring has been under practice since ancient times. Records reveal that the usage of green manure has been witnessed around 300 BC. During the Roman Empire, the Greeks planted lupins and beans to be used as manure for soil improvement. The Chinese, who are called as the world's ancient farmers, have used grass and weeds as manuring agents several hundreds years ago. Moving on, farmers of the southeastern parts of United States acknowledged the benefits of green manure crops in the early 18th century. However, in North America, the application of green manure has been implemented only during the 1940s. At present, along with the trend of using organic fertilizers, many of us are moving back to the very old technique of green manuring. People have realized that the process of green manuring is pretty practical, sustainable, and economical in increasing the yield of unused or overused land. Basically, the implementation of green manuring is based on the agroclimatic conditions. Broadly, green manuring is classified into two types, namely in situ green manuring and green leaf manuring. First, let us know about in situ green manuring. In this process, the green manure crops are grown on a particular piece of agricultural land. They are later cut and buried in the same land to act as a natural manure. These green manure crops can either be pure crop or intercrop grown along with the main crop. Once the manure crops are buried in soil, decomposition takes place gradually. Complete decomposition occurs if the used green material is succulent in nature. In addition, the soil in which the crops are buried must possess high moisture content. What can be the right stage for cutting the green manure crops? Usually, Plants at the flowering stage comprise large amount of organic matter with a very low carbon to nitrogen ratio. This serves as the right stage for mixing the green crops with the soil so that nitrogen is quickly liberated and made available to the soil. The supplemented green manure decomposes and increases the soil fertility, thereby increasing the productivity of main crop or new crop. Some of the plants suitable for in situ green manuring are sun hemp, daincha, berseem, cowpea, and kudzu vine. This type of green manuring is popular in northern India. Now, let us move on to green leaf manuring. Green leaf manuring refers to the process of mixing the soil with tender green leaves and twigs. The branches are usually collected from forest, wasteland, and field bunds. The collected stems or twigs are transported to the farms in bundles. Later, they are kept as such for 2 days for the leaves to wither. The withered leaves are gathered as a heap and covered with banana leaves. This process helps to partially decompose the green matter and brings down the carbon to nitrogen ratio, thereby enabling AC application. The partially decomposed leaves are added to soil only if there is enough moisture in the soil. This process of green leaf manuring is repeated by farmers until the soil reaches the desired fertility. Some of the major shrubs and trees used in green leaf manuring are Thespecia, Gliricidia, Sesbania, and Carangi. Green leaf manuring is popular in eastern and central India. Let us now discuss the advantages and disadvantages of green manuring. Some of the advantages are the practice of green manuring helps to improve the fertility of a soil and its physical structure. It helps in adding required nutrients and organic matter to the soil. It improves the process of soil aeration. It enhances soil resistance against nematodes, mites, insect, pests, and diseases. It helps in controlling weeds. It stimulates the growth of microbes and other organisms that are beneficial to the soil. Some of the disadvantages are, since this process takes longer period to complete, the farmers have to remain idle for several months. Green manuring process is not suitable for rain-fed crops since the soil requires much more time to decompose the leaves. Sometimes, the cost of implementing green manuring is higher than the cost of chemical fertilizers. Summary. Well, that has been an interesting lesson about green manuring. Let us do a recall of what we have studied so far. Green manuring is defined as the practice of adding green plant tissues for improving the physical structure and fertility of soil. In situ green manuring, crops are grown, cut and buried in the same agricultural land to act as manure. Green leaf manuring refers to the process of mixing the soil with tender green leaves and twigs collected from outside sources.